flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Madam Clerk, would you please poll the council members?
Yes. Councilmember Richard Cook.
Here.
Councilmember Nicole Singletary.
Here.
Councilmember Sandra Fleming Crosby.
Here.
Mayor Pro Tem Billy Brown.
Here.
Councilmember Wilhelmina Scott.
Here.
Councilmember Peggy Sepnick.
Here.
Mayor Anderson. I find there to be a quorum present.
Thank you. At this time, we'd like a motion to adopt the agenda as printed.
Move to approve. Second.
Properly moved in second. All those in favor by show of hands. Next, we have our approval of minutes from the regular city council meeting on Tuesday, January 9th, 2018.
Move to approve. Second.
Properly moved in second. Questions or discussion? If not, all those in favor by show of hands. Next item is our public comment period. Comments are limited to 2 minutes per person and no personal or verbal attacks will be entertained. The council is interested in hearing your concerns. The speaker should not expect council action or deliberation on subject matter brought up during the public comment period. Topics requiring further investigation will be referred to the city administrator and may be scheduled for a future agenda. Please state your name and address for the record.
Good evening.
Good evening.
What would you say? 90 Thomas, 610 Davis Street, Lake City. I come forward to welcome our new city administrator. I had the pleasure of meeting her in Columbia back in, was it December? Welcome aboard. That's it.
Thank you.
Good evening,
Good evening.
city council members, mayor, and our new city administrator, Ms. Nolan. My name is Jamaica Robinson. I live in the Wedgefield community of Lake City. Just wanted to come before you all tonight just to give you a brief update on Wedgefield, our progress that we have been making. Last time it was said that we would go back to court on February 1st, and that has passed, but our date has been set to February 19th, which is Monday coming up. And what we're going to do on that date is go to court and show the judge good cause of why residents are still there. And it's because of different factors. For one, the main thing is the weather, something that was not in our control. But we're hoping that more people continue to move, and we have been doing that. We have been making progress on people to move. Other factors are funding. This has been a very long task, a very hard task and expensive task for the people in Wedgefield community. But the ones that have already moved, most of them are still not in their home. You know, people have moved from October, November, and December, and that has been a very hard on us as well. And it's different factors because their home has to be, the inspection, they have to pass inspection. And that's very costly. I don't know if you know the task or know the steps for a mobile home to pass inspection. And it's just been very costly on them. And even with the mobile home part, that has put up an offer for some of the residents to move in. It's not our fault, but they had an issue where they can't find the sewer and the water for the running water to go into people's homes for it to pass inspection. So we've been holding off and waiting on that as well. It's just different factors that's been holding us back, but we've been doing everything, still meeting every Tuesday night, Thursday, moving to Thursday on the week, on every week, to come up with everything that we can still to help our people move properly and safely. I just hope that after this situation with Wedgefield, that Lake City, the city of Lake City, will come together with different programs or different support to help people with different things that has come up. Because we have been really through something. We haven't been laying back, sitting back, not working. We've been working together on this to try to make sure that everybody gets moved safely and properly. So I hope something be implemented
with some type of affordable housing, because that's been another thing. We can't find good housing. You know, people going on waiting lists. You know, it's not easy, but we have been working towards to make progress for our community. So I hope something be implemented later or in the near future for if something like this happens again. And I hope and pray that it doesn't, but we need something in the city of Lake City. Thank you for your time.
Thank you, Ms. Robinson.
Cheryl Cameron, 860 North Old Georgetown Road, Lake City. I'm a little new with coming to the meetings and voicing my concerns, and well, I'm not exactly sure of the procedural follow-up. But I stood here about 2 months ago when I asked about the procedure of the body cameras as far as stops and within the city. And I have not gotten any of that information. I don't know if I was supposed to be contacted or if I was supposed to contact somebody else. And I think it's a really important thing, and I don't know how many of us have seen the case where recently it's been in the news, and I know we're not in Tennessee, but it's the Sheriff City, Tennessee, you know, it was things that were brought out only because the body cameras were there. There's no doubt there is crime in the city, and I know, you know, I even have it in my community. We just don't want our officers to be a part of the criminal system. So this is my question, this is my concern. What is the procedure with the body cameras? And I have yet not gotten any of that information.
You leave your contact information here, and we'll make sure that you get that.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Okay. If no others during the public comment period, we'll now move on to presentation. And oh, yeah. Of course, everybody knows her now. But before I get going, at this particular point in time, we would like to introduce the song, present to others, since they've already met her, Ms. Stephanie Snowden, who is our new city administrator. Would you please stand?
Thank you all. Excited to
Okay, now we're ready for presentation. At this time, we would like to recognize a distinguished gentleman that I see sitting in the rear of the courtroom back there, Mr. James C. Brown. If we could have him come up front, please. And just to tell you a little brief piece of history on this young man, the very first time I ever voted in an election, this is the person I voted for. My very first time I got to use my voter's registration card. And I still have one of your posters.
Oh, well.
It's a little nostalgic. But couldn't have happened to a better individual. He and I share our Sunday school together. This is the assistant Sunday school superintendent, and I serve as the superintendent. So we see each other on a frequent basis. And I thought it not robbery tonight to recognize his groundbreaking experience that he had back in the 70s. And we just want to say thank you. I want to take a moment and read this to you. And it says as follows: 2018 Special Recognition Award presented to James C. Brown in recognition as being the first black elected official in 1972. Presented this 13th day of February 2018 by the City of Lake City, Loveth Anderson Jr. Mayor. It is an honor, and we're proud of you.
Certainly I would be remiss if I didn't say thank you to the mayor and council and these other distinguished staff, and to you, the community at large, for your kind gesture of appreciation and recognition. But we wish you, on behalf of my wife, that you would have continuous progress
and success as you move onward and upward, because we certainly are on the move now, and it requires full attention, and we just pray that you will be encouraged to go on in spite of it all. Thank you for your consideration, and if I can do anything to assist or help you in your journey, I'll be willing to comply as such as I am able to. Thank you so much for your consideration.
The next item is Resolution 2018.317. This is a resolution pertaining to approving appointments to various city boards, commissions, and committees and other matters related thereto. The slate to be reappointed, and all of these have been notified, and they have told us that they're interested in continuing their service on these specific boards. They are as follows. For the Airport Advisory Board, and if I mispronounce some of these words, you all would just have to forgive me. Dusan Friedel, Danny Rogers, Rick Atkinson, Dr. George L. Cowan, Henrik Bjorklund, Mike Hethorn, Hemmingson, Kevin Lynch. Don't tell Hemming I messed his name up like that. The Architectural Review Board, Woody Trulup, Randy Pierce. Housing Authority Board, Bertha Scott. Planning Commission, Rick Melton and A. Russ Martin. And Board of Zoning Appeals, Jamie Daniels and Henry Library. And for the Airport Advisory Board, these terms will end on 8/11/2021. For the Architectural Review Board, term will end 4/12/2020. Housing Authority Board, term will end 8/12/2023. Planning Commission, term will end 3/31/2022. And for the Board of Zoning Appeals, term will end 3/31/2022. Floor is open for a motion.
Make a motion to approve the appointments to the different committees.
Second.
Okay, properly moved in second. Any questions or discussion?
Yeah, Mr. Mayor, all of these, in on the same day, they're not segregated, right?
Well, the Airport Commission, we may have to go back and take a look at staggering some of them, because I think all of them are 2021. The other boards are pretty much staggered because we got the other members on. So make a note that we will do that. All right, any other questions? If none, all those in favor by show of hands. Next is ordinance 2017.459, second reading. This is an ordinance of the City of Lake City, South Carolina, amending the codes of ordinances to include zoning, building regulations, downtown development, program administration related issues, to develop a series of strategic recommendations and other matters related thereto. And we will have some insight by our city administrator, Ms. Snowden.
Mayor and council, as you know, we enlisted the help of of consultants that looked at our land development regulations. And the one thing that I would ask that you do is remove the recommendation regarding mobile homes. As it stands, it looks like it was incomplete, and we just need to kind of bring back some better language. It looks like right now as it stands. So I believe that all of the other items look pretty good. There's some pretty good recommendations, but that is one that I'd like for you to remove and then approve the rest of them. Are there any questions?
The majority of these ordinances were changed because of out of date,
Right.
and not conforming to the laws, right?
Right, exactly. Anytime you have zoning, every 5 years, I believe it is, state law required, maybe 5 or 10, state law requires you to actually update your comprehensive land use plan, and I think that there were many that were just not updated back in the 70s and that sort of thing. But the one that does give staff pause for concern is what the consultants recommended for mobile homes. We need to take that out, and I would ask that you approve the remaining ones and then let us bring back language regarding mobile homes.
Okay. You've heard the administrator's update on that specific portion of the items, and the items as listed for you today is one pertains to yard sales, the other is the Architectural Review Board, the other was the Architectural Design Guidelines, the facade grants, the mules, complete street, landscape buffers, tiny houses, off-street parking and loading, cluster housing, signs, billboards, and other advertising structures or medium, low density, R1, R3 high density residential zone, central business district zone, light industrial zone, and suburban industrial zone. Need a motion to approve.
Make a motion to approve ordinance 2017.459, the second reading, approve it after removing the ordinance about mobile homes.
Second.
Okay, properly moved in second. Any other questions or discussion? If none, all those in favor by a show of hands. Next item is the second reading on ordinance 2017.460. This is an ordinance of the City of Lake City, South Carolina, authorizing the conveyance of certain real property of the city identified as Lions Park, located on Charles Street, Lake City, South Carolina, tax map identification number 80015-02-016, to be deeded over to Florence County. The mayor and the city administrator to take such action as is necessary to convey such property and other matters related thereto. This is the updated version of the transfer in regards to the property being only used for recreational purposes.
Move to approve ordinance 2017.460.
Okay, properly moved in second. Any question or discussion? If none, all those in favor by a show of hands. Next item is ordinance 2018.461. This is the first reading on an ordinance of the City of Lake City revising the annexation covenant that requires folks outside the City of Lake City who ask for utility services to agree to annex into the city when they become contiguous and other matters related thereto.
Move to approve ordinance 2018.461, first reading.
Second.
Properly moved in second. We're ready for questions and discussion.
I have a question. Are we going to go back and get the ones we got in there?
Well, we can't retroactively do that, can we, CD?
That's correct. So this is going to be going forward.
We can add it.
Can we go back and ask?
Yes, we can add
Can
it.
and should, but you can't go back and force them down.
Okay, any other questions? If none, all those in favor by a show of hands. Next item is ordinance 2018.416, first reading. An ordinance of the City of Lake City, South Carolina, repealing section 16-297 and 16-298 of the Code of Ordinance of the City of Lake City as it pertains to concealed weapons and other matters related thereto. This came up because someone got on Facebook and saw that we had an old ordinance sitting out there, and I've got calls from all over the country and everybody else in regards to this. So we want to make sure that we do it properly. And of course, I reminded them that none of our ordinance can supersede state statutes. Need a motion to first reading.
Make a motion to approve 2018.462.
461.
461, excuse me.
No, sorry, you're right.
No.
You're right.
So excuse y'all.
Just two. All right, we got it?
Yeah.
Okay. Properly second? Who's that? Okay. All those in favor by show of hands? You got another question? Okay.
And the biggest thing was, I got phone calls too, and I saw it on Facebook. Concealed weapon permit you can carry anywhere you want to. All right?
That's right. Okay, that's right, chief?
That's correct.
Okay. All those in favor by show of hands? Next ordinance is ordinance 2018.463. This is the first reading of an ordinance of the City of Lake City approving the State of South Carolina statewide mutual aid agreement between the State of South Carolina and the Lake City Fire and Police Departments for emergency and disaster response recovery and other matters related thereto.
Move to approve ordinance 2018.463, first reading.
Second.
Properly moved in second. Questions or discussion?
Yes, does this negate all the other mutual aid agreements that you've done?
No, this shouldn't. This is pertaining to public, like train wrecks and other major disasters, if I'm correct on that.
What happens is, and I can yield to Chief, but every year the state has different requirements if you want to actually, and even the federal government receive reimbursement, federal reimbursement. So this is something that will happen periodically where they want the language and the agreements updated. Am I correct?
And if we need resources, if we don't sign that agreement, then I can call for the National Guard Army or whatever it may be, and they say negative. So it helps us with resources also.
All right, any other questions? If not, all those in favor by show of hands? Next item is our approval of bills. And that is items 1 through 15, Chair.
The city manager's report, city administrator's report.
Did I skip you again?
Oh, that's okay. It's all right to be skipped. This is not a good sign, Mayor.
I've been riding solo for so long, I forgot I had a companion. But we'll get there.
Oh, that's okay. So the approval of 2018 bill list.
Make motion to approve paying bills.
Second.
Properly moved in second. Questions or discussion?
Question or discussion. Item American, number 3, American Waste System, $32,441.20. American Waste System number 4, $29,902.32. And American Waste System, a sludge disposal, $12,996.08. I abstain from voting for paying American Waste System. All the other bills I'm in favor of.
Okay, any other questions or discussion? If none, all those in favor of approval of the bill list, show of hands. Okay, well, any opposed?
I abstain from paying these three.
All right, next item is city council members' report. And we started with you last time, Richard, so in a second, we'll start on your end tonight.
We welcome all of you. Congratulations to Mr. Brown on being a pioneer here in Lake City. I know what that feels like. I wish everybody a happy Valentine's Day. Be sure to be nice to somebody that you love. And we'd love to have you back here again next month.
Thank you. Ms. Scott?
Welcome, everyone. And again, welcome to our new city administrator. As I go along through Lake City and Columbia, someone knows her name, so you're well known among a lot of folks.
and a lot of good things were said about you. So I'm sure we expect good things here in Lake City from you. And also, would like to say congratulations to board members that have been reinstated for those appointments. And I'm looking forward to working with y'all and continue with the city to making things better for all of us. I was in Columbia last week with the city administrator and in our city meeting business, and there were some very good classes that attend, that a lot of good information that hopefully we be able to utilize a lot of the things that I experienced and hear other cities with different issues and concerns. Again, it's good to see everyone.
I'd like to say congratulations and thank you to Mr. Brown for his years of service. I'm sure he got a lot more in it. We look forward to getting some more of that out of him. Welcome, Ms. Sloan, to our best city. Look forward to working with you. Appreciate everybody coming out. We'll see you again next month.
Okay, I will ditto Mr. Brown. You were long overdue. Congratulations on your recognition. We've been neighbors for many years, and so we share many sentiments. Additionally, I'd like to say, I took time, I thought about, I met Ms. Snowden, had a long talk with her Friday, and was extremely impressed by her. So I thought, in her honor, that I'd write something to welcome and recognize her. With grace and humility, I affirm and believe you have indeed endorsed and hired, for the first time in Lake City's history, our first African-American female administrator. Ironically, she began her first day on the first day of February, which is Black History Month. Black History Month is Black history for all African Americans every day. Ms. Snowden inspires to a new initiative. Her resume is very impressive, it's extensive. She is a trooper of substance. She possesses excellent caption of grammar and vocabulary, character. She's knowledgeable. She's poised. She has impeccable fortitude. Pleasant. She's a tough, boots on the ground, community-minded servant and activist. She's determined. She's tactful. She's a gladiator. She's a renegade. A phenomenal woman who has the background, tenacity, and ability, professionalism, and vision, and know-how to take Lake City to a new level as she plans. Hopefully, with her untiring effort and determination, all Lake Cityans will be able to see and feel the proudness that she's going to bring to our city. They're going to feel safer in their homes and communities. With her background in law enforcement, having commanded and led, I believe, 260 law enforcement officers, as an officer herself, proficient in shooting a gun, and her background in CDBG, community development, block grant funding, and grant writing, I look forward to our new administrator's visionary administration, her leadership, her community development and affordable housing, and continued economic development in jobs. Remember, community, it is up to you to show up, to be an advocate, and make your voices, your concerns known. Express. Come out to the meetings and let us know about the changes you would love to see made in this community. If you do not, the impact may be, well, don't complain later. There's time out for complaining later. This is your opportunity to have, if not all of your expectations met. There's no way we can know what your concerns are if you do not share them. Please call and let us know. Plan to come to council meetings and bring